everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. I'm so glad that you're joining me today because we're going to do what I'm hoping is going to be a very fun card. This is a stamp set that's in the mini catalog called Hang an Ornament. It is a stamp and die, so you can get it as a bundle. Save 10% when you order using the bundle number, opposed to ordering each piece separately. So if you know that you're going to want the bundle, or you know that you would like to have the dies, go ahead and get it all in one shot. Don't order the stamps and then have that regret and say, oh, I wish I'd gotten them, because then if you decide to get them, you will lose that 10%. But make sure you use the bundle number, and I'll have all the numbers on the PDF tutorial, the order numbers and everything. So if you do decide you want this, you can easily go to my website and order. I'm also going to focus in on this Winter Meadow paper. This paper pack was brought back from last year, and I'm just going to use a little bit of this beautiful snow scene, and it just looks like snowdrifts with trees in the background. I think for what I have in mind, this is going to work really well. So I'm going to put the paper out of my way for a minute, and I'm using a boho blue card base, and this is a half a sheet of cardstock, so it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And I have a mat that's going to go on it that's basic white, and this is the thick. I wanted the mat to be thick because I'm going to emboss it. I'm not sure. I haven't decided whether I want to do the snowflake, or I have a snowflake. No, I don't. I started to do one and I didn't. I don't know if I wanted the birchwood or the snowflake. I'm thinking I might do this one with the birchwood. So I'll tell you what, let's just go with it. You know, sometimes you just have to make an executive decision and follow through. So I'm going to use this one, and I lined it up with my line at the bottom to make sure that it gets a really good line up so that it's not crooked or anything. And I am going to use, even though I'm using my switch, I'm going to use my Stampin' Up plates. And for this being a 3D embossing folder, and this, if you see my yellow sticker, that means it's in the mini catalog. I am going to lay this on top of this, and then I'm going to put my specialty number 4 plate over top of it, and we're going to feed that through my let's see if it'll go. Here it goes. I'm running it through my Big Shot switch, so I don't have to pick up my machine and bring it up, and then it's always in the way, and I have to bring it back down. And this works just as good. And look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the detail. I love the way that looks. So we can put that embossing folder up, and we can put our plates up. So I'll stick these over here. We'll need those again in a minute because we're going to do some other stuff. But what I did is I cut 3/4 inch strips off of that piece of Designer Series paper. And what I want to do is I want my card to be like this. I think I want it to be a portrait card, so which means it's going to open from the side like this. So I want to put this on here, but I felt like we needed something to break it up. So I cut some 1-inch strips of Night of Navy, and look how that just springs out. Isn't that beautiful? All of a sudden it looks so much prettier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to put glue on the back of this, just like that. If you are a part of my Facebook group, I put a poll out there today because I have been thinking about starting a new channel, and it's not going to be paper crafting. I'm still going to do Stampin' Up and my paper crafting, but I want to add a cooking channel. And I really want to see what the consensus are. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, think about doing so. Go over there and find that poll. It'll be the last post that I put in, and you can click whether you're all in, which means yes, you would love it, or whether you will subscribe and watch when you can, or nah, I don't cook. And that will give me an idea if my people that follow me here will be interested in what I do in my kitchen. So I thought it would be nice. And the reason, what inspired me to do this, I will turn 70 in March, this coming March. And I thought, what a wonderful thing to have a legacy of recipes that my kids grew up on. So my two daughters, my daughter-in-law, my granddaughters that's coming up, would be able to go and see my recipes and actually me showing them how to make it. I thought it would just be a really neat thing. So that is what my thought process is for that. And I've always cooked, and then people have told me that I am a good cook. So, and I enjoy it. So I thought, why not make that a video? So anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, we've got these strips done. So what I want to do is I want to decide how much of my strips, and I want to cut 5 of them. Did I do 5? We can cut these in half. These are, let's see what my length is on these. They are 8 1/4. So let's do 3 1/2. Let's do 3 1/2. And I'm going to turn this one this way and do 3 1/2. And that's going to be a little scrap there that we don't really need right now. So there's a 3 1/2. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. I want a 3 1/2. And those will be my 3. And then I want to get a couple of these that are going to be 3 1/2. Let's go 2. Let's go 2 inches on those. So there's a 2, and here's a 2. So we just need a couple of those. All right, so we've got our little strips done. So now I know I did that at 2 inches, so I need 2 of these to be 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut. Just trust the process. You'll see what I got coming, what I'm doing in just a minute. So it's 2 1/4. And then these were 3 1/2, so I need 3 3/4. And that's just about perfect. Let's cut a little bit off of it. That's just a smidge. And then we need 3 3/4. A few more times. 1 and okay. So now we have these where we can go ahead and mount them onto our cardstock, just like this. You want to make sure your trees, if you're using the same paper that I'm using, make sure that they're not upside down. So we'll get these all glued on. And I am going to use liquid glue, and I'll tell you why. Liquid glue will allow me to have a little bit of wiggle room when I put these down, and that's what you're going to need with this, because sometimes it's hard on a thin piece to get it even. And if you use the Stampin' Seal, you don't have as much wiggle room as you do with your glue. So see, I can put that down, and I still got time to wiggle it before I press it down. And that one is ready. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Just swiggle a little glue on it. You love my fancy terminology. Swiggle, swirl. I still say swiggle. I guess that's just a southern thing. I'm not sure. So those are ready. So let's go ahead and get these 3 long pieces. All I'm doing with putting these pieces on is we're just building somewhat of a pattern. I just wanted something that was a little different and something that was pretty. And I think this kind of fits the ticket. And it gives us just a little something different to look at. Oh, so pretty. And then we're going to do this one. Like something like this. Give it a press. Now these are all matted and ready to go on our card. So what I want to do is I want to start at my bottom, something like that, and maybe one right here on the top. And I want to get the left margin the same as the bottom and the top the same. So I'm just going to eyeball, because a lot of times it's easier to eyeball than it is to try to mark and make measurements, or at least for me it is. So I'm going to put this one, what I feel is in the middle, like that. And then I'm going to come in and I want these to go. What if we do one right? Oops, I messed that up, didn't I? Let's see. These might be a little bit too wide. Let's come down just almost to the bottom. Give ourselves just a little bit more room. So maybe 1/8 of an inch at the top. And we're going to put this one here. And this one here. And let's see, will we have room for that one? Okay, we're going to go to the bottom and to the top. See, I didn't work out my measurements before I started with this, so that's why I'm having to adjust while we're filming. Not a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt this to here. And then I'm going to put this one and butt it to there. And then this should be able to sit right in the middle. And that does work. So that's how we're going to put this together. And look how it looks like the trees are kind of doing that number. So let's do the top piece first. And I'm going to put my glue on that one. And I'm going to station it right over here and all the way up to the top, because we've come to the conclusion we need to go to the top. Give it a press. Then I'm going to come to the bottom one, and I'm going to put it down. Anytime you're doing strips, this will help you. Now what you want to do is look at your top one and your bottom and make sure that your left-hand side is about the same, and make sure it's up where you need it to be, where you're just to the bottom of your white mat, and give it a press. Now we're going to take this one and we're going to butt it right up to that one, just like that. So that'll be an easy one to put down. So I'm going to make it even Stevens right to the bottom, just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one, only we're going up to the top and to the left. And you could do this with any cardstock, any pattern paper. You could stamp your own designs and do this. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Now, this piece, I want it to be in the middle. Kind of looks like one of those frames, you get like a collage for your family photos and you could put them all in. It's kind of a collage card. In fact, I might just call it that. So I'm going to take this piece and go ahead and put my glue on the back. And just so y'all know, if I do decide to start the cooking channel, I've got to come up with a name, and I'm thinking something like Kathy's Country Kitchen or Kathy's Cooking Corner. It'll be something like that. And like I said, I think it'll be fun. Hey, we all have to eat, right? Of course we do. All right, now I need something to put in these two little spots. And I'm thinking maybe I might do some little small bows here, but I also want to decide what I'm going to put. Here's one that I did a little bit different. I want to show you this. This one I did with gold and the red with gold foil on it. And I used an embossing folder on this one, but I used the, what is that one called? Dotted circles. That was this one here. The dotted circles. And see how pretty that one is in the background? I love the way that turned out. And I used some of the candy stripe but baker's twine to put some bows on it. And I used some of the little candies to kind of accent right there. I like the way this turned out. And I used a different stamp set inside. This was from an old stamp, not an old stamp set, but one that's it's not stamping up. So I do apologize. But I was just playing around with this when I came up with it. And I used a piece of the paper from, I don't know, it was a scrap piece that I had out. And I just thought the little candy cane stripe on the with the little peppermints looked really cute. And I used the holly leaf from the hanging ornament, and I used the ornament for this. And you can stamp just for you, all is merry. There's also a place to pull where you can make that a pull card. So many things you can do with that little stamp set. So anyway, that was this one. So I'll have both of those on my blog so you can see them both. And I started another one, and this one I started like this, and I was actually going to use it on this card. And then I decided, no, I think I want to do something a little different. So I kind of altered and I went with this. So like I said, your possibilities are endless of what you can do. Now, for my inside, I am going to cut a dark blue mat and another white mat to go in for my inside. But let me go off camera and I'm going to decide what I want to put in these two spots and what sentiment I want to use. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I pulled Christmas labels, and I think I want to do this label die, and I'm going to put it on this white strip of this is scrap, and I want to stamp Be Merry, and I think that's going to be very pretty in there. Let's see if that's going to fit. I believe that it will. Let's go ahead and stamp it. And I think I'm going to do it in Night of Navy. So I'm going to pick that up. Grab my Night of Navy ink. And ink it up. And give it a stamp. Love it. And then let's center that over it. Something like that. And let me get my plate. So I'm going to run it through right here. So I'm already here with my machine. Let me close up this ink before I put my hand in it, or better yet, my card that I've already worked on. That would be a disaster. But hey, y'all know I've done it. Y'all been here. You've seen me do it. So let's go ahead and run this through. Let's see. What is going on here? There we go. That. I always flip that top plate every time. Just it really helps keep it from warping. And it seems that your plates warp worse in an electronic machine than they do in a manual. I don't know why, but they do. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that's going to be so pretty, just like right here in the middle. Look how beautiful that is. I love it. Could do it that way. I don't know. I think I like it right in the middle. I'm going to pop that up on some dimensionals because I think it just needs to be. And I had some here just a minute ago because I used them. Oh, and I want to show you. Y'all saw the fan card that I made the other day, and that has actually already gone out in the mail. But I was working on one using the Christmas paper, and this is using that reindeer fun. And look how cute that is. I haven't finished it, but I thought I would give you all a little peek of it. Since you've already seen me do that card, I didn't think you'd want to watch me remake it. So I thought I'd just bring it on and show it to you. I don't know what I did with my dimensionals, so I guess we'll use, they got to be here somewhere. Oh, they're right here. I knew they were close by because I had just used them a little bit ago. And I'm going to put 3 on the back of this because I want it well secured. And let's pull our backers off. And let's put this down right there in the middle. And I'm going to look and see what kind of ribbon would look so pretty on that. Oh my goodness, maybe white? This is such a pretty ribbon. This comes in the pack with the pink and the white. There's the petal pink. It's 2 rolls. I love this white. I think it's so delicate and so pretty. I'm going to do one of my little loop-de bows, finger bow. Let me see. Let's start over. Lay it in my hand like that and hold it against my middle finger with my thumb. I come over and under my index, and then over and under my middle finger, and over and under my index finger, and then back over and under the middle finger. And then I'm going to bring that down, and I'm going to cut me a piece long enough to tie it. So it's under. You still want to hang on to that tail that you first had. You're going to feed this through your finger, and if your fingers are tight like mine are, you just push it just like that. And once you get that loop there, you're going to take this piece and bring it back over and under, just like that. And then what you want to do, you got your knot, you want to rock it back and forth. And I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors because I'm not pleased with my tails. There we go. Now I can put it into the dot, just like that. And we have a beautiful Christmas card. Be merry. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so simple, and yet it's so stunning. And I am going to put just some basic rhinestone gems on this because they are too pretty not to use. So I'm going to pull those out, and I'm going to take a pick that was laying here. Goes for my cricket. I'm going to put one right there, and one right there. And I'm going to put a couple of the little ones, like maybe one here. There we go. And now all we need to do is cut our inside and find a sentiment for the inside. And I'm going to do the Night of Navy. And this needs to be cut at 4, 5 1/4. Let's do the 5 1/4 this way first. About 4. And then we need a piece of white that measures 5, 3 3/4. And do you know what I'm going to do? Because I think it looks nice. I'm going to go 1/4 inch in, and I'm going to score all the way around at 1/4 inch just to give it a little bit of that something extra. It frames the mat really nicely. And it just adds a little something to your card. Like that. And see what I mean? It just gives it a nice little finished look. So now we are ready to find us a stamp to stamp on here. And we could go back to this one and put, hope your season is filled with magic. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to stamp it also in Night of Navy. Grab a stamp block. And get up. I'm going to stamp on that just to make sure. Yep, that looks good. Let's ink it again. I do that if it's a new stamp and I haven't stamped it before, because I just like to make sure that I'm getting it right where I want it and it's covered well. Love that. All right, roll of thumb, close your ink pad. Now we're ready to put our adhesive on the back and glue this to the Night of Navy mat. There we go. And this is going to go in here like so. And what a spectacular, beautiful winter Christmas card this will be. And I think anybody would love this card. Simple, elegant, and so easy. Y'all let me know what you think, if this is something you'd like to make. And I didn't even go into my hanging ornament like I did with the first one that I did. With this one, I did the little ornament and stamped it, but I mean, the same principle, just mixed it up a little bit. And like I said, the possibilities are endless. So give it a try and let me know what you think. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved any of the products you saw me use today, they are available over on my Stampin' Up! Website. That'll be linked below the video as well as on the blog. If you click on my blog, the link for the blog, that will give you everything. Pictures, a little synopsis, sometimes a little story from me. It will also give you a link where you can click to go directly to my Stampin' Up! Website. The PDF tutorial will be there with a clickable link. You can actually print that out yourself, save it to your device, either or both, and the YouTube video. So if you need to come back and visit, you can just go right directly to my blog, find the video there at the bottom of the page, and click on it and rewatch. Thanks, guys, so much. I love you, and thanks again for all your prayers and encouragement during my illness, my recent surgery and everything. I go tomorrow for my follow-up. I think everything is doing fine. I still do feel a little stuffy, but I think that's normal. Until we stamp again, y'all have a very blessed day. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. Jesus paid the price for all of us. So let's live our life for him. Until next time, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.